I have sold out 2 of my cohorts on 5-day Make Sales Challenge. The first cohort, we had 250 paid participants in the cohort. The next cohort that is about to start, we are hitting over 250 paid participants. Here are some of the lessons I learned selling out virtual events. Number 1 is clarity. You need to be clear about how many people you want to attend your event. And if you are like me, I use a journal and I write down the number of people I want. In fact, I actually draw caricature images of the number of people that I want to attend my events. Webinars are very good. They're very good. They're a very good way to make money. They're a very good way to push your brand. Most of my webinars are sold out. The second strategy that I learned is repetition. Once you have written down the number of people you want to attend these events, you want to repeat that to yourself again and again and again. And how do you do that? You write down the goal daily and then you declare it with your mouth daily, because you think you believe it, but you don't. Repetition is persuasive. Did you get that? When you repeat a goal over and over again, it's persuasive. You repeat it to yourself again and again and again. You repeat it when you pray. You repeat it when you are doing house chores. You repeat it when you visualize it. Repetition persuades you to take the actions that you need to achieve that goal. Did you get that? All right? So, the third thing is contact. You need to contact the people that can pay to attend your class. The thing about contact is that sales is a contact sport. Never forget this. Selling is a contact sport. The more people you contact to buy your product and your service, the higher the chances that some of them will buy from you. Learn from Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola branding is everywhere. Every restaurant you go to, every grocery store you go to, you see Coca-Cola. They're doing that for a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons that in behavioral economics is called availability bias. It means that whenever you need a soda, a soft drink, the name that comes to your mind quickly is the one that you have been seeing a lot. That is the genius of Coca-Cola. That's why contact is important. The further you are away from people that can pay you, the more difficult it becomes for you to make money in sales. Isolation is dangerous in sales. Contact is what brings money. So the more you can be in front of somebody, belly to belly, eyeball to eyeball, the higher the probability that you will make money. That is just the truth of the matter. Did you get that? So make that sales call. Send that email. If you have an email, send it. All right? Number 4 is sales calls. If you want to really sell out your webinar, right? If you run an ad, for example, and people sign up, they show interest with their names and their phone number, you want to get either your sales team or yourself, get on the phone and make those sales calls. Some days I make like 40 sales calls because I found out there is something magical about the telephone. The day that Alexander Graham Bell, invented the telephone, it was a transformative period in humanity. So pick up the phone and call. The more sales calls you make, the more money you will make. I'm telling you. I am telling you. There's something about a phone. If you want people to come to your event, don't just wait for them to come. You have to call them. You have to call companies to send their staff to the event. You see, there are 2 ways to it. There's one-to-many and a one-to-one. You call some people individually to pay and come for your event, but you have to call some companies to pay for their staff in bulk to come for the event. Like this, my webinar that is taking place now from the 1st to the 5th of October, right? I call some companies, some of them pay 30 of their staff to come for the webinar, 10 of their staff, 8 of their staff to come for the webinar. I'm expecting one now to pay about 100 of their staff to attend the webinar. Did you get that? Because I called. If you don't call, nothing happens. If you don't call, nothing will happen. Did you get that? Number 5, you have to follow up. You will have to follow up on the people. After you call them, they probably won't pay immediately. you will need to follow them up with a text message, a WhatsApp message, an email message, or a further telephone call or a DM. The question is, how badly do you want it? If you connect the revenue or the money you're going to make in your webinar to a dream or a goal that you want to accomplish in your life or in your family, guess what? You'll be motivated to take the necessary action to make the people pay. And if you also believe that what you would share in the webinar will help them, guess what? It will force you to follow up. The reason why you're not following up is because you don't really believe that the lessons you will teach in the webinar will change somebody's life. If you really believe it, you will follow up on them. You do get that? Number 6 is you have to use a multi-channel approach. Use a multi-channel approach. Don't just use one approach. Use multi-channel approach. That means you send a DM, you send a text message, you make the sales calls, you send an email. You use multi-channel approach. You know why? Some people don't check their DMs, but they check their emails. Some don't check their emails, but they check their WhatsApp messages. Did you get that? So you have to use multi-channel approach. Remember, you're not selling to yourself. You're selling to somebody else. You have to figure out and know how they like to buy. It is how they like to buy that you should sell to. Did you get that? Great. Number 7 is collaboration. You want to collaborate with other people by, let's say, affiliates. In my last webinar, I had some affiliates who talked about the program, and their friends and their family members came as well. So that's a sort of collaboration. Another form of collaboration is maybe you pay an influencer or somebody to, talk about your webinar on their platform. I've done that before. You pay an influencer to talk about their webinar on their platform, and from there you can make a few sales yourself. Did you get that? Collaboration. 8, I like this, drips versus avalanche. Now, when you want to sell out an event, some registrations will come in avalanches. Make like 20 registration, 50 registration at the same time, 100 registration, 1,000 registration. That's your avalanche. It's good, but you must also do your drips. What do I mean by drips? You put the flyer of your webinar on your WhatsApp status. You put it in your Instagram stories. You just drop it different places. At that level, you will be seeing 1 or 2 registrations, 3 or 4 registrations. Those are what I call drips. They add up. Especially if you start promoting your webinar, like mine is, I like to start promoting my webinar 30 days or 40 days before the event. If you start promoting that way, all those drips, they eventually add up. If you add the drip to the avalanches, you will fill up your event hall. Did you get that? Then number 9 is prayers. You have to pray. I tell people all the time that sales is spiritual. They think I'm joking. It is spiritual. Selling is spiritual. So, you pray that the event is successful. You speak words of power that the event is successful. You visualize people in the events. You write it down in your journal. I journal every morning. Now I've added 9 to it. I journal and write down my goals. Last night before I slept again, I wrote it down. I'm grateful and happy that 500 people paid to be in my webinar from October 1st to October 5th. All right, 5-day Make Sales Challenge. I write it down. All right, because I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in the potency of prayer. I believe in the transformational. Now you may not believe in it. All right, but I believe that the world is spiritual. Now you can't see God, but God created the earth. So God is the invisible that creates the visible. God is the intangible that created the tangible. Your prayer, your thoughts, your words are your intangibles that can create your tangible, which is people coming for your webinar. Did you get that? All right. And then number 10, repeat the process. You do it all over again. What's the process again? Number 1 is clarity. Number 2 is repetition. Number 3 is contact. Number 4 is sales calls. Number 5 is follow-up. Number 6 is multi-channel approach. Number 7 is collaboration. Number 8 is drips versus avalanche. Number 9 is prayer. And then number 10 is repetition. You do it again and again and again and again. If you do that, you will get results. Now, don't take these things lightly. Don't say, okay, they are just simple ideas. They are not simple ideas. They are not simple. I wish I can read a quote to you here. Let me read something to you here about taking things very, very simple. This is from the book Richard Weiser held there. He said, the trouble is most people dabble half-heartedly when they find an idea that works. Onish Pabrak cannot conceal his contempt on that. But here's what he's saying. He said, as I see it, the attitude we should clone is that of the 19th century Hindu sage, Swami Vivekananda, who told his followers, he said, take one idea, make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles and nerves, every part of your body be full of the idea, and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to greatness and success. I hope this was useful to you. My name is Paul. I hope you enjoyed this. Please click on the subscribe button if you enjoyed this. Tell your friends and family members. If you still want to come for the webinar, it's fine. So click on the link on the show notes underneath this video and sign up for the webinar, or listen to my podcast, or read my free articles and all that. God bless you and do have a fantastic day. Let's go. Like I always end my programs, I say boom.